Sebastian, you've been with us for what, a year now, a little bit over a year, maybe a year and a half. And you've gone through a lot of changes with Modus. I mean, I remember when I first met you in January of last year, you were pretty fresh from a company's tenure perspective. And dude, like, you were just in it, like you showed up on your own dime to the company party in January. It took you, what, 16 hours to travel from your home? So, for those who are just learning about you, can you introduce yourself? What do you do and where you're from, please?
Sure. I would say I'm a solution creator or something like that. I like to find problems and find solutions around those problems. So I started to do that. In order to do that, I started to a development career. I'm a software developer in my core. I went to college to study that, and I've been doing this from 2010. I started as a web developer, specializing on front end, back end, and everything. Almost everything that comes my way, I had to learn it, and I love that thing that you need to learn stuff in order to grow, and you need to keep learning stuff in order to keep being relevant in this industry. I joined Modus in 2017, July 2017. Um, it's like a pool of opportunities that is always coming in and coming in. You just need to lift up your head and see it and open your eyes, and it's like I don't know, endless possibilities of moving on, grow up, grow in any area that you may want. And that is what I love about this. This is great. I'm from Argentina, and it's difficult sometimes to grow in different areas because the possibilities here are not so many. And due to the work connection that we have so far, um, uh, knowing Modus, it was like a blessing to me. So, yeah, very happy.
You, I was going to say, like, you've been involved in a lot of things over the past few years. But if you were to take us all the way back to, like, maybe when you either learned of Modus or were recruited, like, how did you learn about us? What were some of the decision points that made you think, yeah, you know what, I want to join that band of technologists?
Sure. So before joining Modus, I'm an entrepreneur. I consider myself an entrepreneur. I was having my own small software agency, and it was a roller coaster because I had to wear like 1,000 hats at that time. um, but the key thing about being an entrepreneur is to have the control over how to grow or where to go next step. And the bad thing about it is sometimes you have not the certainty of having work to do next month or so. Um, so I also was starting a family, and at some point that roller coaster was too much. And a friend of mine, Facundo, which was working at Modus at that time, is still working at Modus. He told me, "Hey, here at Modus we need people, and we need people like you." And I said, "Okay, but what is Modus?" And he said, "Modus is the best thing that you can find." I said, "Okay, let's give it a try." And I went through the interview process, and oh my god, from the HR people to the technical people to I was interviewed by Kristen at that point. Later, Sarah. I think it was Andy also. I don't know. Also maybe Robert. Man, those folks which are on the senior leadership area are treating you like a one-on-one guy. I mean, like a regular guy. There are not a hierarchy um, way in a way they talk to you. So that was great. I mean, when I saw that, I said, okay, this has the feeling of like a startup, but with the grow of a very established company, but at the same time with the certainty that there is a lot of work to do. So it was like a perfect mix to me to join.
One of the things I think that you got an opportunity to do is kind of like cut your teeth, so to speak, in in this wacky world of consulting, where you're kind of brought in as an expert, but also have to leverage the empathy side of understanding
Oh,
that the client's under pressure and
oh
that
my
we
God.
have to deliver to the best of our ability in the world of uncertainty. So if you don't mind, like, talking to the folks about, if they're interested in joining Modus, what's the opportunity space for growth from the consulting and empathy side?
Oh, there is a lot, a lot to do, a lot to grow. The technical side, of course, is something that you can always learn on your own. Of course, it's great to have mentors, which, by the way, we have here. But besides that, the technical side is something that you can grow on your own. But having the experience to handle these clients, which are big, complex, they have a lot of needs in different levels, and you are there as a consultant, solving the technical stuff, of course, but also trying to understand them, understand the anxiety sometimes. Um, that makes you by force grow in several levels that you didn't expect. So you end up being a better professional, like I said before, at several levels, at several aspects, on several areas that you didn't expect to grow, right? So that is also kind of the magic here, right? So, actually, around those decisions about growing on here and that, and around those conditions that led me to grow on certain things, it was a key element to decide on growing on another career path, which Modus is enabling me to do. So that is great. Yeah, you have a lot to do here. It's like an endless pot of possibilities, as I said before. Yeah.
I kind of want to call something out because I can recall when you joined, and after you received your first shirt, like, you had this like avatar where, like, you're like busting out and showing almost like a superhero, Modus logo. So I was wondering, it looks like you have a Modus. Look at that. That's beautiful, man.
Yeah. you know, I was on my way to Reston when I took that picture. I was on the airport, and we were, I don't know, we were making some jokes around how we are consultant superheroes at some point, because we are trying to fill a lot of gaps and everything. So, and I was wearing my shirt at that time because I say, okay, when I arrive there, I will show Shay
Uh huh.
the T-shirt, um, and I say, okay, I need to make a joke about this. I need to make an internal joke about this. So I took a picture of myself doing this, right,
Yeah.
on the airport. A lot of people seeing, and I took like several shots until the best one came up. People were seeing me and said, yeah, I'm turning into a super consultant. Yeah, super models consultant.
I just remember seeing. I'm like, dude, he's just. I don't know what you were thinking, but in my mind, the way I interpreted it, I was like, it's like, oh, problems. What software? Psh.
Yeah, let's go in. So, ta-ta.
That's so freaking cool, dude. Our consulting, like, our culture, is one of the things that I'm personally proud of. And I remember, meeting you for the first time in person, because I know we talked quite a few times prior, through Zoom. For me, the fact that we're a global team, but also are tight knit. Like, I think, if I'm not mistaken, like, when you met Georgie for the first time, like, you guys, like, you just like connected, and I was like, it was a
Instant
magical
connection.
moment.
Instant
It's
connection.
right. So, like, I'm just wondering, like, is this your first remote job? If it's not, or if it is, let us know. But what's your experience been like working with such a global team like Modus?
Yeah, it is my first remote. Sorry, it's not my first remote job. Actually, I've been working remote for the past, I don't know, 11 years. But it is my first time working remote with my partners being my teammates being remote. Another developer is remote. Always my clients were remote, right? Or the people I was offering my services. But now having a team that the usual way is to have an office and your teammate is right next to you in the next, I don't know, 2 feet away. Um, but here you don't have that. You don't have the physical connection right next to you. But that is not necessary, luckily. Because in order to grow a bond between your teammates, with all the tools that we have so far and with all the enablement that Modus, the people operation at Modus, oh man, they are doing such a great job connecting us between each other. We are all over the world, right? Like, I don't know how many countries, like 50 countries or something
Over
like
50
that.
today. Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, it is amazing. And the people operation, which I told you, I call it the people's people.
Yeah.
The people's people is the people that makes us everyone bond. They have a lot of activities to share stuff, to have fun, to relax, to I don't know, whatever you can think of. There is always something to do to bond.
So you've been with us for over 4 years now. Like, you've interviewed quite a few Modites. For those who are meeting you for the first time virtually, what types of tips do you give to them to help them understand the type of environment we have and the kind of traits they would need to have to thrive in such a fast action paced environment like Modus?
So here at Modus, we have these core values: be active, be visible, and be relevant. I don't know if that's the order, but it's no matter that. So the idea it is really to be like that. We share an attitude of being active and being proactive and being on top of things, and besides that, helping other with whenever you have a problem, or if you have a problem, or you have blockers, or you have any issue, you can reach out, and there is always someone willing to help you. So that attitude of even being consultants among us is a key element, right? The the hard skills you can always learn that. But being that having that attitude of being there for each other is the right thing that we are looking for on every job, and of course trying to have a good eye to offer the clients a good support. So having that attitude in general is a key element.
I completely agree. And one of the things I really, as well as the active, visible, relevant, fantastic work, by the way, is the fact that we all recognize that people come to work, right? You know, like, that's one of the things I think that attracted me when we started to work together was like, this guy's actually a great technologist, but he's actually like, as he's good a technologist, but he's also a great people person. Like you recognize that, like you mentioned, the client anxiety, like earlier when we were talking. Like, yes, absolutely, because if we think about what we deliver to our clients, what is it really? Is it the code? Yes, but what is it really? It's a peace
Exactly.
of mind. It's a peace of mind knowing that for us, we're asked to help them in a time of need. And so ultimately, the experience of working with us and that success of delivering the product or the project or saving it or whatever is what we leave behind. And it's been our secret sauce, essentially, secret you hear, to success. And what's awesome, and it's like I mentioned earlier, you cut your teeth in this client in 2017. Like,
Oh,
that helped you rise through the ranks within Modus. And, you know, as a principal consultant today, like, you've been leading the charge, so to speak. And you help other Modites grow. So I think that's a fantastic thing to recognize.
yeah, indeed. Yeah. There is a lot of room for that, for everyone here to improve on that area, and and everyone is here willing to help you improving on that area as well. So yeah, consultant is like a first thing that you have to be in your mind. If you want to grow, here is the right place to do it because you have all the conditions there to do it.
That's phenomenal, dude. I cannot tell you enough how much I appreciate you taking the time. I mean, we have experienced explosive growth. We're all extremely busy. And to be able to take out this time to connect like this and share your story with the world means a ton to me. So, dude, I really appreciate it. You are one of the model Modites. I enjoy working with you. I enjoy seeing how you affect other people. So thank you for extending this to the rest of the world, dude.